Good afternoon. First at 4, I'm Karen Drew with breaking news out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Police have been swarming around Fort Lauderdale's airport after reports multiple people have been shot, at least 5 dead. Right now, the scene is chaotic. Rod Maloney is tracking all the latest developments. He is in the Local 4 Satellite Center. So, Rod, do we know how many shooters there were?
They are saying right now that it was one single shooter, a man 26 years old who flew from Canada. We're not sure exactly where yet, but he was on an Air Canada flight down to Fort Lauderdale and apparently had checked this gun into his luggage and picked up his bag from the baggage claim and then sat down for a while, went into a bathroom, and then just started shooting at people. He had 13 people hit. There were 5 dead now. There are 8 people who are injured and in the hospital. And chaos doesn't even begin to cover this. In many areas around the airport, as we've seen all afternoon, people have been ordered to stay behind police cars. They've been told to come out of places going across the tarmac, and the police are telling them to put their hands in a position where they can be seen as non-threatening. So you're seeing people coming out of places like rail yards and the airport tarmac with their hands up or praying and things like that. It's incredibly chaotic business out there today. We heard from Scott Israel, who was the Broward County Sheriff, and he had this to say about the shooter near the baggage claim on level 2 of the Terminal 2. And he talks about how they were able to apprehend the shooter.
Right now we're taking, this scene is considered fluid and active. We have the shooter in custody. He's unharmed. No law enforcement fired any shots. The subject is being interviewed by a team of FBI agents and Broward Sheriff's Office homicide detectives.
NBC News is saying that it's a gentleman by the name of Esteban Santiago who's under arrest. He had a 9mm handgun. They say that he was indiscriminately shooting into the crowd, and he shot until he ran out of ammunition and gave himself up when the police actually came up and approached him. They did not shoot him, as you just heard. There's much more to talk about here, much more to tell you about. We're getting video in from Fort Lauderdale. We'll have full coverage on Local 4 News at 5 and again at 6 o'clock. So reporting live from the Satellite Center, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
All right, we'll be checking back with you at 5. Meantime, Detroit police now have a person of interest in custody in connection to the deadly gas station shooting that left a young father dead. The shooting happened Thursday at a Marathon gas station on the city's east side. Surveillance video shows the moments 22-year-old Javon Perry was approached by 2 men before being shot in the head. The chief of police says the person in custody was not directly involved in the killing.
We do have a person in custody who was involved, not directly. So again, we're asking for the public's help.
Police are still searching for these 2 men on your screen, 23-year-old Derek Everson and 24-year-old Carell Raymond. If you see them or know where they are, please contact police immediately. The annual auto show is about to kick into high gear, and Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan toured Cobo Hall to get a sneak peek today. The mayor checked out displays, met with some of the workers, and even tried out one of Ford's race car simulators. The big reveals start Monday, and you can get ready for a show with a special Dateline Detroit showing you what is hot and what's new. That's Monday night at 10 o'clock right here on Local 4. In today's first forecast, Ben Bailey is experiencing the bitter cold firsthand. You know, Ben, we do need cold for the Plymouth Ice Festival. I just don't know if we need this much cold.
You know what, Karen, when life gives you winter, you just make an ice festival, and that's what the folks here at Plymouth have done. And yes, we are seeing some of our coldest temperatures this year so far. Wind chill is still an issue, even though the winds have calmed down since earlier in the week. Wind chill's 0 right now, but air temperatures just above 10 degrees across the area, and the clouds have come back after seeing that sunshine in the early parts of today. Snow flurries around, but nothing significant, and we'll be watching those tonight and even more so tomorrow. Well, more on that in your forecast for the 7 days, which will include some warmer temperatures, just not anytime soon, Karen. That's coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Ben. Well, we also have a developing story out of New York at this hour where President-elect Donald Trump met with top intelligence officials late this afternoon. A showdown expected over claims of Russian hacking to influence the U.S. presidential election. Let's check in with Devin Scillian. Devin, what is the president-elect saying after this meeting?
Well, Karen, we don't know a lot yet, but the president-elect is saying he had a, in his words, constructive meeting and conversation, end of quote, with intelligence leaders at Trump Tower. But he is still insisting that Russian hacking had absolutely no outcome on the election. There are, here's some of the highlights we've heard about so far. Mr. Trump released a statement after the debriefing saying he did not, I should point out, he did not say whether he agreed with the conclusions that Russia tried to influence the election, but all of the intelligence agencies say evidence points to exactly that, Russian hacking or attempts to do so. Trump has been critical, of course, of that conclusion. Also says he will appoint a team to aggressively stop cyber attacks, and he wants a plan for that within 90 days. He also wants an investigation into who leaked details about the hacking investigation to NBC News. He says NBC received it before he received a formal report. We'll get a closer look at that report next week, we understand, when it's made public, although any sensitive information from it will, of course, be blacked out. Doesn't look, though, like this meeting bridged the growing gap between Trump and the intelligence community. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out in the days ahead, because Inauguration Day is 2 weeks from today. Karen, back to you.
All right. Thank you, Devin. The president-elect is also defending his plans to build a wall on the U.S. border with Mexico, saying Mexico will pay eventually. Sources say Trump will first ask Congress to pay for the wall, but he says that's just the short-term plan. Trump tweeted, quote, "The dishonest media does not report that any money spent on building the Great Wall for sake of speed will be paid back by Mexico later." Congress would have to add about $10 billion to a spending plan due in April that could lead to a showdown with Democrats. A key Trump advisor says this is all about getting the wall built quickly.
Congress, because that's where things are paid for. Congress, I guess, is investigating the possibility of paying for it to make it more speedy and then having Mexico pay for it after the fact. But that's what Congress is doing. Mr. Trump has always been very clear, nothing has changed.
In addition to building a wall and meeting with national security advisors, the president-elect has also launched a new celebrity feud on Twitter. That tweet a little bit later in our trending stories. We are in for a cold weekend. Ben Bailey is at the Plymouth Ice Festival. We'll have his updated forecast and what you can expect this weekend in just a few minutes. Also ahead, these guys were looking to shovel some sidewalks and make some money. They ended up saving a man's life. And Kimberly Gill is standing by.
Hi, Karen. Good afternoon. Coming up in Good Health today, we're talking about bad bosses, the impact they can have on your health, and their employees may need to check their own behavior.
Meantime, we do continue following the breaking news out of Florida, a deadly mass shooting at the Fort Lauderdale airport. 5 people are dead, another 8 hurt. The suspect, 26-year-old Esteban Santiago, is in custody right now.
The tightest coming up all new on Local 4 News at 5 and 6.
A man warming up his car in his driveway gets a ticket from police. He puts that ticket on Facebook, calling the officer a rather colorful name.
Every person warms up their car. We live in Michigan.
You see the disparaging comments made about my officer? Drop dead.
We'll hear from both sides of this issue and explain the law so you don't get a ticket like this.
All right, thank you, Sean. Let's talk good health. More evidence this afternoon. Metro Detroiters might need to just get up and get a little more active. Kimberly Gill is here with some of these new rankings, which are kind of depressing.
They are depressing, but we've heard similar results before, so maybe we should just take the challenge. I don't know. The financial website Wallet Hub is revealing a list of the most and least active cities in the United States. Out of 100 cities, Detroit is in the bottom quarter, ranking 75th. One of the reasons we do so poorly, we have one of the lowest numbers of fitness centers per capita in the country. Did not know that. Now, the most active city is Madison, Wisconsin, which has the most fitness instructors and playgrounds. And the least active city is Memphis, Tennessee.
So we can't use the cold as an excuse because Madison is working out.
That's right. You're exactly right.
Another story people are talking about today, research on toxic bosses and how they kind of affect our health.
And not surprisingly, a bad boss would be bad for your health. This is according to research. Now, research proves it. It found that workers who feel bullied or intimidated by their bosses are unhappy and more depressed. And even worse, the research from the University of Manchester found people with bad bosses are more likely to behave badly themselves. Those employees were more likely to be unproductive, take credit for other people's work, and bully their coworkers. So it sounds like a lesson here. If you're complaining about your boss all the time, you might want to check your own behavior to make sure you're not picking up those bad habits yourself and spreading them around.
Get out of that toxic environment.
Just get another job.
Good zen. All right. Thanks, Kimberly. We'll talk about great timing. This group of teenagers was looking to make some money by shoveling sidewalks in Colorado. They ended up saving a life as they were going door to door. They went to one home and heard something strange. Someone inside was yelling. Well, it turns out the resident had fallen and couldn't get up. He told firefighters he had been there for days when the young man happened to knock on his door. Police confirmed the story, but didn't have any updates on the man's condition this afternoon. Let's head on out to Plymouth, where the Plymouth Ice Festival is getting underway for this weekend, and there's lots of fun things to do. I really am always so impressed by those sculptures, Ben.
All aboard, Karen. We're on our way to the Ice Festival. Opens officially at 5 p.m., but there are folks already out here in downtown Plymouth tonight. We'll give you a lay of the land here coming up in a few minutes. A couple flakes around, and yeah, it's cold. But again, the wind's not quite as bad as they were earlier this week. Checking out temperatures right now, those have moved from our low this morning, which was around 8 degrees, all the way up to a whopping 14 at Metro Airport. So just above the low teens across the area, but there is enough of a wind to give us a wind chill that's pretty close to zero and even negative in a couple spots. And as far as the precipitation goes, it's not all that impressive, just a couple flakes, and it's really hard to see here on 4 Live radar where that stuff is. It's just going to be a flurry, and I don't even think we'll see a snow shower out of that. Not so much the case tomorrow, though. A trough of low pressure swings through, and that will give us some more organized snow showers as we get into the later part of Saturday. Most likely that's going to be in the evening hours. So after starting out with some sunshine, we'll see that move through. Probably no significant accumulation, but maybe enough to coat the ground in a couple spots. Once that trough exits, that's when we dry out, bring some sunshine back on Sunday, and we start the slow warm-up into next week. 5 degrees is what we're looking at for a low tonight. Wind chills hanging around zero as we get through the nighttime hours. Daytime highs tomorrow are going to be just around 20 degrees, and then we start climbing as we head towards next week, and we watch that next winter system move in on Tuesday, starting as snow and then eventually turning to rain. Back here in Plymouth, and the ice sculptures, they actually started carving these on Tuesday, and with James Geetson, who's the organizer here, you can't ask for much better from Mother Nature, right?
No, this is the best weather we've had in quite a few years now. So beats the 50 degrees and raining, and the -4 right now is about perfect for us.
At least these sculptures are going to stay intact. Tell us a little bit about what's going on this year. This is what, more than 10 years you guys have been out here, right?
This is year 35 for us out here. We got a lot of different things going on. In the morning we'll have the Genesis Credit Union Collegiate Carving Competition, which is a lot of fun if you've never seen live ice carving before, to come out and check out. We have a cross-country ski course, which will be open all day tomorrow, along with a petting farm, and so a lot of other family activities. So if you've never been, come on down this year.
This is the year to do it.
Yeah.
Now, I know the question on everybody's mind is, if I come out here and I get cold, how am I going to get warm? What do you guys have to help them out with that?
We have 2 options. We have the Ehlers Heating and Cooling hotspot with a bunch of different vendors and some food in there. And we also have Park, which is the as an official warming station down here too. It's a couple blocks away. They have a lot of different things going on as well, along with artisan market and some different like live performance kind of things. So.
Very cool. All right, James, thanks for being with us. And again, 5 o'clock's when it all kicks off tonight. They got plenty of cocoa. We can smell the elephant ears. All kinds of good stuff going on downtown in Plymouth for the Ice Festival. Karen, back to you.
All right, looks like a great time. Thank you, Ben. Nearly 90 million people are prepping for winter storms along the East Coast. A mixture of snow, sleet, and freezing rain is quickly moving from the Midwest to the eastern U.S. In Atlanta, emergency crews are already out working on roads as the city is expected to see a year's worth of snow in just one day. In some states, the storms have already hit, while others are expecting more than a foot of snow over the weekend. Still ahead, an embarrassing spelling mistake that was trending on Twitter today, how a simple headline turned into a racial slur. Also ahead, check out these new breakfast treats from Starbucks. Are they something you'd order with your morning cup of coffee? An update now on the breaking news out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Right now, investigators are questioning airport shooting suspect Esteban Santiago. He's accused of shooting 13 people inside the baggage claim area of one of the terminals. 5 of those people died. Santiago arrived in Fort Lauderdale on a flight out of Canada. More updates on Local 4 and on clickondetroit.com. Yahoo is apologizing this afternoon for what could be one of the worst typos ever. That one story is trending today, first at 4. Yahoo Finance says it accidentally tweeted out a headline containing the N-word. The headline was supposed to read, quote, "Trump wants a much bigger Navy," but the word bigger included a very embarrassing typo. The tweet was deleted, but not before that mistake became a trending topic on Twitter. Also trending on our Friday afternoon, President-elect Donald Trump tweeted some insults at the new host of Celebrity Apprentice, Arnold Schwarzenegger. Take a look, tweeting, quote, "Wow, the ratings are in and Arnold Schwarzenegger got swamped or destroyed by comparison to the ratings machine DJT, which stands for Donald J. Trump." Schwarzenegger tweeted back, quote, "I hope you'll work for all of the American people as aggressively as you worked for your ratings." The former Terminator did not back Trump in the recent elections. Well, it was a record-breaking New Year's Day for the Apple App Store. The tech giant says users bought nearly $240 million worth of apps on January 1st alone. That is the most money ever spent in the App Store on one day. Nintendo's Super Mario Run was the most downloaded app on the day and has already been downloaded more than 90 million times since its release. Well, Starbucks isn't looking to increase its food sales with the help of a new grab-and-go egg snack. The new snack is wheat-free, portable egg and cheese treat about the size of a golf ball. Starbucks says the snack has been in development for 3 years after their customers asked for more protein options. But they are not stopping there. The company says an organic soup and gluten-free breakfast sandwich will hit menus a little later this year. Well, don't forget, Local 4 is the only place to watch Saturday night's wild card playoff between the Lions and the Seahawks. Our special coverage begins at 6 with Jamie Edmonds live in Seattle. Kickoff 8:15, followed by a special edition of Local 4 News. Meantime, the Fort Lauderdale airport remains locked down right now after this afternoon's mass shooting in a baggage claim area. 5 people were killed, 8 others hurt. What we are learning about that suspect coming up next.
When you know it's time for a change.
I had gained an insane amount of weight, and I could see that my girls are looking up to me.
How do you get the guts to do it the right way?
I think it's overwhelming for people.
But this mom is figuring it out.
I wanted them to start habits young.
Her simple steps to live healthier, eat better, and enjoy those treats as well.
I can't imagine going back to how we were.
Tonight at 11.
Before we go, we definitely want to bring you up to speed on the deadly airport shooting at Fort Lauderdale Airport. It happened early this afternoon inside Terminal 2. 5 people were killed, another 8 hurt. The suspect is in custody right now. He's identified as 26-year-old Esteban Santiago. Investigators believe he arrived on a flight from Canada and picked up his luggage from baggage claim. In that luggage was his checked firearm, which he removed and then started shooting. Again, Santiago is in custody and he is being questioned at this hour by investigators. Right now, there's no word on a possible motive or whether this is terror related. We will have much more on Local 4 News at 5. And thank you for joining us. The First at 4 will be back in a half hour for Local 4 News at 5. Inside Edition is next. We leave you with a shot of the Plymouth Ice Festival, getting ready for a very busy weekend ahead.